Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Living in the Pause Inspiration Call. My name is David Dom, and I am your host. This call is for anyone that has a desire to start their day with inspiration and the hope of living a more connected, peaceful, and passionate life. The general format for this call will be an introduction each morning at 5:45 a.m. Pacific Time, Monday through Thursday, followed by a reading of a passage from a book that I've personally read and used as a tool in my transformation. The books will include authors such as Don Miguel Ruiz, Marianne Williamson, Wayne Dyer, John C. Maxwell, and others. Following the reading, we will have a time of masterminding where members of the group can share thoughts and experiences based on that day's passage reading. We simply ask that the discussion be focused on the topic at hand and that brevity be kept in mind so that as many people as desire to might be able to share. This is not a marketing call, so we ask that no mention of companies or other people's experiences or names be shared, just based on anonymity. We have a Facebook group that you can join called Living in the Pause Online Conference, where we will be able to truly become more of a tribe that can help each other as we share even more about how to live in the moment, in the pause, and grow to be balanced, aligned with our purpose, blessing each other and the world as our light shines as a beacon of hope and as we live our new dreams. We'll also be publishing these calls on a podcast soon, so if you don't get an opportunity to get on the call live, you'll be able to listen back to it on the podcast. Details about the specifics and where you can access that podcast will be forthcoming within the next few days. So with that in mind, I will be posting in the Facebook group which books will be coming up next for reading, so you could grab a copy of them if you don't already have them. There's a recommended reading tab on the website, livinginthepause.com, for easy ordering through Amazon, and you could go directly to Amazon as well. The first book that we're going to begin reading is starting on our first call, on episode 1 and call 1. That's going to be on August 1st, Monday, is The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's an amazing book. I feel like it's a perfect foundational start for our journey with our group. So since this is an introductory call and episode, I felt that a bit of an introduction would be in order that explains kind of how this adventure came about. So we're going to cover a few questions and answers regarding my story and, more importantly, how this group, my book, The Transformation, came into being, and a little more about what you could expect. So my friend, Efren Gramajo, who is also my editor, is going to be coming in. He's been an integral part of the journey to help us get kicked off. He's going to ask a few questions to help facilitate this part of our introductory call. So if you could pop on, Efren, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Loud and clear.
All right.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Awesome. Fantastic. Blessed. So you had some questions, so take it away.
Okay. We'll start with the first question, which is, so I do like the conference call style podcasts that you're creating, but the question is, why a conference call and not a traditional radio style podcast?
There's a couple of reasons. Really the biggest reason in my mind is that the goal with this call is to create a community and a tribe and a group of people that can interact and become helpful to each other. And I just don't think that sense of community can be had on our traditional podcast. These days, the traditional podcasts usually are put together because the goal in mind is like to create revenue. So they want to get a bunch of listeners and then have advertising or whatever the case may be, but there's not as much interaction. And the interaction that I want, a friend of mine had created a similar conference call, and it was amazing because it created really a tight-knit group of people that all had similar interests and that were able to, mastermind, if you will, by sharing, the goal here is to spend half the time, again, in some good, solid, amazing text and reading that I feel, has really blessed me. And then the second part of the call will be people's feedback on that. And there's no way to really get that on a traditional podcast. So I think this is going to be awesome.
I agree. That leads right into the second one, which is, will you only be reading books, or will you be reading or playing other materials such as news articles, blog posts, or audio clips? Is it only going to be books?
That's the primary focus, because, again, books have been a huge impact in my life. As a matter of fact, in the past, 6 months, I've been reading about a book a week, just on this constant, journey and constant searching, if you will, for more information on how to live a more balanced life and more at peace. But we are going to have guests come on. We're going to have guests on the show, on the show. We're going to have guests on the call, and, it's a show/podcast call. We're going to have people come on, and we'll be able to interview them. So that'll be mixing it up sometimes. And, sometimes the podcast episodes will just be random in addition to the call. The goal is to provide a call for people in the morning at 5:45 a.m. Pacific, that they could start their day Monday through Thursday and just really get it kick-started in the right direction. So that's the main focus. But then, and so they can really have that feedback. And, so yes, that'll be the primary focus of structure, if you will. But we are going to have guests on. I would love to get some of the authors of some of these books, if they're still alive, and get them actually on, participating in the call, and be able to interview them and be able to allow the guests, or the callers, if you will, or the members of the tribe and community, to be able to ask them questions, which would be, awesome. So that's kind of the thought process right now.
Yeah, that'd be great. Imagine having the author of a book reading their book. That'd be awesome. So that leads me leads me right into the third question: is what genres and types of books will you be reading?
Well, genres and types of books. I hate to just kind of sum it up as saying spiritual, because it's definitely not only that. But, the authors like Don Miguel Ruiz, who wrote The Four Agreements, which is going to be the first book we start on, that book is a pivotal, foundational type, book, if you will. I mean, it's amazing. The Four Agreements have had a huge impact in my life. So that was not necessarily spiritual. As a matter of fact, he, is, I believe, from the Toltec Indians, background, if you will. So that Marianne Williamson is considered, a spiritual teacher, but her stuff and the way she teaches is so amazing. And she's written a couple of great books that I have my eye on for the call as well. There's an author, John C. Maxwell, wrote a book called Failing Forward, which is kind of being able to take our results from which we feel are failures and turn them into something else. And then obviously Wayne Dyer has been a huge teacher for me and kind of a mentor, who's no longer with us, but he left behind some amazing text. So, again, it's just stuff that has a huge, like a powerful impact and helps learn how to balance our lives. My big thing, which I've learned is, and which I am helping others learn, is balance in all areas of our life: mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. So when you get right down to it, it's going to involve balance and alignment and congruency in all of those areas. So I would assume that it's going to be good for everybody, and we'll mix it up. Like I said, we'll mix it up and have different topics. But I could tell you that it's going to be along the self-help / spiritual arena. That's actually not my book. That's the category that my book fell into that I just released. So that's going to be the goal. Cool.
Sounds good. Can you tell me a little bit about you, your background? I know you're an author and you're a speaker, but what else have you done and what else are you doing today?
Well, I have been speaking for quite some time in different arenas. I mean, I've been in the sales and marketing industry for the past, 25, 30 years, and I have created some programs and products, and in my opinion, they were, when you get right down to it, if you wanted to compare them to the type of work that I'm doing now, I feel we're quite shallow. That's why I never wrote a book until recently, is because I just didn't want to do it if it wasn't going to impact the world in a positive way. So my goal right now, and what some of the things I've done, again, lots of marketing, lots of sales, lots of creating, lots of inspiring, but I really have been through a huge transformational period in my life. And by that, I've learned how to use some tools to gain that balance that I spoke of and that congruency, where what I'm thinking, doing, and saying are all the same. And my goal is really to impact the world in a positive way and carry a message of hope. So what I'm doing today is we just recently released a book. We're creating this call and podcast. We're actually shooting, I don't know, close to 100 videos over the next, few weeks that we'll be releasing on YouTube. We're building up that presence. And then in addition to that, obviously I am speaking. I'm working on booking gigs for speaking to groups, large, small groups of all kinds, but mostly a passion. One of the passions is speaking to kids, middle school, high school kids that might be able to get some of this stuff early in life as well. But I'm also working on a certification for a integrative wellness and life coach degree. That's going to be happening any day or, within the next month or two. And the goal there is to be able to create some programs and help people kind of learn some of these things that I've gone through and creating some online programs where people could access that stuff anywhere in the world. And so that's kind of what's happening today.
Great. So where can we find you online? Do you have a YouTube page, a Twitter page? What are your links to your stuff?
Yeah, we have all of that. Where you'll be able to find it, the easiest way to find it is we've created a Facebook group. First of all, the name of the website, the main website that we're using to promote this project and the book and everything is livinginthepause.com. So that's kind of a place where you could almost get to anywhere from that. But we've created a Facebook group that you can join, and that's really where people should go ahead and plug in. Just join the group. It's Living in the Pause Online Conference. If you just type in Living in the Pause, you should find that group in Facebook, because that Facebook group is going to kind of be the hub that allows us to communicate with everybody. There's going to be documents and links and videos and audios and all kinds of cool stuff. We're going to be posting the podcast episodes, which are these calls. We're going to be posting that as well in the group. So, the tribe, if you will, should tap into that Facebook group, Living in the Pause Online Conference, primarily. But, yeah, we have YouTube, Twitter, all those links are there, and they'll all be posted as well in that group, so it'll be easy to find. But livinginthepause.com is a great place to start as well.
Cool. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Thank you. And with that, I just, I wanted to obviously go through a few of those things, because the first episode, again, this is an introductory call, if you will, or episode that we're kind of just, putting together. Episode 1 is actually going to be happening on August the 1st at 5:45 a.m. And the phone number, again, is going to be posted in the group, but I might as well just give it out on this call as well. The dial-in number is 712-770-4005. Again, that's 712-770-4005. And the code to type in there once you get on the line to access the call and be a part of it is 691979. Again, that's 691979. And then I believe you hit pound, but it'll walk you through, give you instructions. So jump on the call with us. We're going to have these Monday through Thursday. We're excited to be able to provide this service to everybody and feel like it's going to be an amazing journey. So I'm excited. And, with that, like I said, the first book is going to be The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. You could go to your local bookstore, grab a copy if you want to read along, order it on Amazon, whatever you want to do. But we're starting that reading on August 1st. And then, it's going to take several days, maybe even a couple of weeks to get through it, because we're not going to read the whole book every day, but we will complete it, and hopefully you can join in. Like I say, it's an amazing book. I know everybody will get a lot out of it. If you already have it, amazing. A lot of people that are going to probably jump in to this group and be a part of it probably will have some of these books already, but I'm excited, completely excited. So looking forward to it, and thank you so much, Efren, for jumping on the call today.
Thank you. I'm excited as well. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to be having to get up really early.
All good. Well, yeah, us on the West Coast, we will, but I'm excited. So thank you again so much. And take care, guys. We'd love to have you on board, so jump in.